Welcome back to Saturday Report. I'm Carl Higbie. Here with us is Camille Wead, creator of Blonde Politician. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Carl.
So I got to know, where did the tag Blonde Politician come from?
You know, I had a lot of fun making YouTube videos, kind of, I guess, being sarcastic with the current events of politics of today. So I guess that's where the blonde comes in. And then I also like fashion, so I thought maybe it kind of went together out of.
Yeah, I'd never heard of you, and I saw you actually here on Newsmax, and I wanted to reach out. And one of the things that I found fascinating about your videos is that you use satire to basically address issues of the day. So, you know, one of the things we've been covering today is the fact that the Democrats are now trying to hit President Trump with Hatch Act violations and his other members of his administration for using the White House as a backdrop for the RNC, among other things. What's your take on that?
You know, it's kind of fascinating to watch the Democrats act like that annoying, angry ex-girlfriend that just won't stop calling. They're really upset with Trump. They keep trying to, throw these attacks with, and they spent months and days with that news story. And now the Hatch Act, violating the Hatch Act, I think it's really crazy and hypocritical. I think the American people see through this. If we want to talk about an administration violating this act, let's talk about Bill Clinton. He had over 800 people stay at the White House. A lot of them were major donors, including Steven Spielberg. He slept in the Lincoln bedroom and donated $360,000 towards his campaign. So I don't know. It's just it's redundant. And then on top of that, I researched, has anyone gone to prison violating the Hatch Act? And I could not find one person.
Yeah, it's much like the Logan Act. It's funny, though, as we talked with Alan Dershowitz in the last segment, where he said, it actually may be a violation of the Hatch Act for trying to use it as a political weapon against Trump for investigating the Hatch Act. I was like, at some point, you just have to say, guys, enough is enough, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's unbelievable. So, all right. So here's another thing that I want to talk to you about. President Trump called for North Carolina voters to go mail their ballots in and then go to the polls just to double check their ballot was actually counted. What do you think about this?
I think that's very smart. I mean, there's been voter fraud. We've seen some kind of shady things happening with this election cycle. And I think people need to make sure their vote was heard and that it counts and that they're real. It's their real name.
Yeah, of course they jumped on him. They say, well, Trump's telling everyone to break the law. So, is he really telling people to break the law? Or is he just saying, hey, look, guys, we got to have the votes counted, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's crazy how the media tries to twist things and the Democrats try to twist things. You can see their frustration as they keep on trying to just hammer Trump down and saying that he's for something when he hasn't said that at all. I mean, we saw this news story come out from, the Atlantic that was completely false on something Trump said that wasn't true at all. And so I think they'd like to twist things a lot.
Been covering this all morning, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this, because everything's anonymous, but then the 10 people that came out and said it was not true, they don't count for anything. Last thing real quick, there's been a few Democrats, a few Republicans, most of which that nobody really remembers, that have endorsed Joe Biden, but Republicans, when they have a Democrat endorse them, even in droves, it doesn't matter. But this makes headline news. Why?
They're so mad. They're so angry. And it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because I was looking at a Pew research this morning that was of this month, and it said that 59% of Republicans are happy with their nominee, whereas 42% of Democrats are happy with their nominee. So I think it's kind of funny that, there's not fair representation in the media. There are Democrats that aren't supporting Biden, and we don't know about that. That's not being talked about. But we'll talk about the Republicans that aren't backing Trump when he does have a lot of support from the Republican Party. So it's fascinating.
Yeah, no, fascinating times and fascinating media coverage of the whole thing. Well, we'll keep our eyes on your Instagram page for more of your crafty satire videos. Camille Wead, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it.
All right.